Okay, welcome to approximately about 15 minutes of yoga. My name is Christina, and I teach yoga and pound at Wakeman Fit Club in Wakeman, and I encourage you to go on our Facebook page and check it out, Wakeman Fit Club. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. Anytime you do any type of exercise, even just yoga, you want to make sure that you warm up the muscles a little bit. So standing at the head of your mat, feet about hip width distance apart, give me a nice big inhale up, placing your palms together overhead and then bringing them down to your heart center. We're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale up and exhale as we come down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale up and exhale. Okay, good. Now we're going to do some arm circles back, just loosening up the shoulders. Bringing our thumbs in the lead helps with the shoulder socket, so it's better than doing this. A little bit easier. Now let's reverse. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to put my feet a little bit further out towards the edges of the mat. We're just going to do a little torso twist. Just warming up the hips and the spine, the hip flexors, and lifting up your heel so that you don't twist your knee. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of a squat, and then we reach towards the floor. And when we squat, we stick our booty back, and our knees are directly over top of our ankles. Squat and reach. Squat and reach. Now let's just hang out here at our mat for just a few minutes, just let gravity take over, loosening everything up. Now roll up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Good, okay. So we'll start off with a little bit of a sun salutation, and this is just something that I put together. There's tons of different styles and types of ways that you can do it. Your feet are about hip width apart, standing at the head of your mat. We're going to inhale up, palms together, bring them to our heart center. Now we're going to slowly bend down, placing our hands on our shins. And we're just going to give you a couple of deep breaths here. Back is nice and flat, slight bend in our knees, so our knees aren't locked. Inhale, and as you exhale, hands towards the mat. Step your left leg back. So our right leg is near our hand, our left leg is totally extended. If you need to put your knee on the ground, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, stand up nice and tall, pressing that groin towards the mat. Getting a nice deep stretch. Now we're going to shoot both legs back into plank position. Now if you need to, put your knees down, if you can stay up nice and tall, with your wrists directly underneath our shoulders. Slowly lower to the knees, lower on down. We're going to bring our hands back just a little bit. Come on up into Cobra. Our thighs are on the mat, tops of our toes are on the mat. Nice deep breath here. Curl the toes underneath and pop up into downward facing dog. If you need to bring your feet in a little bit, that's fine. Let's go ahead and pedal the back heels just a little bit. Stretching out the calves. Your head should be framed between your arms. Move your feet towards your hands. Reverse swan dive up. Palms together and end at your heart center. Okay, now we'll do it again with the other leg stepping back. So back to the front of our mat. Inhale up, palms together, down to our heart. Now let's go down to our shins. Stay here for one deep breath. Exhale, hands on the mat. Shoot the right leg back. Pressing our groin towards the mat. Making sure our knee is directly over our ankle. Nice deep stretch. Now we shoot that leg back And we're up into plank again. You can go down to your knees if you need to, otherwise hold this for a couple of breaths. And then slowly lower down. And then up into cobra, maybe coming up a little bit higher than you did the first time. Nice deep breath. Curl the toes underneath. Downward facing dog. Nice stretch. The hamstrings, the arms. Walk or hop the feet towards your mat. Reverse swan dive up. Palms together and end at your heart center. Okay, now we'll go into warrior one. So I'm going to take my right foot, place it towards the head of the mat. The left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Go ahead and get into position with our legs, makes it a little bit easier. Bend down slightly so that your knees directly over top of your ankle. You don't have to go down very low. Hands on your hips, and we're going to twist our torso towards the front of the room. Bringing our arms up beside our leg, or beside our ears. You can bring your palms together, or you can bring them to your heart, whatever's more comfortable for you. And this is warrior one. Nice deep breath. Now we just turn and we go surfing right into warrior two. Again, making sure the knee is directly over the ankle so we're not jutting out too far. Nice straight back, tucking our tailbone in. Our core is nice and straight. Now we're going to come up. We're going to go into triangle. So I'm just going to bring my legs just a little bit closer together. Your feet are still in that same position. Back arm goes straight up in the air, and the first arm goes in front. Your front knee is just slightly bent. And you want to come down as far as is comfortable for you to where you're in good form. So you don't want to have your butt sticking out. Pretend that you're being pressed between two panes of glass. And then slowly come back up. Great, and then we shake out the legs a little bit, and we do the other side. Left leg facing the head of your mat, right leg parallel to the back of the mat, coming down, bended knee, hands on the hips, crank your torso towards your big toe, and your arms can go up, palms together, or at your heart center, whichever is more comfortable. Nice big inhale. Maybe go down a little bit more than you did before. Now we go surfing into warrior two. Again, keeping our tailbone tucked in. Nice straight lines, making sure that our back arm is parallel to the floor as well as our front arm. And then we go into triangle. I'm going to bring my legs in just a little bit. Both of them are pretty straight. Back arm goes up and the front arm can rest in front. Rest on your shin. You can even rest on your thigh if you can't go down that low. If you're very flexible, you can go down to the floor. And slowly coming up. Good job. Now we get to go down onto our hands and knees. So this is our tabletop position. So your hands and wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. Your head is just looking out in front of your mat, maybe a couple of feet or so. Nice deep breath. Now we're going to pull our belly button in towards our spine, tucking our chin into our chest. Stretch out that back in the cat. And then extend the opposite to cow, looking out in front of your mat a few feet or so. And we'll do that a couple of times. Let's inhale cat and exhale cow. 2 more times. Inhale cat and exhale cow. Last time. Inhale nice and tall and exhale. Good. Now we'll go back into child's pose. I like to open up my knees a little bit so I can fit right down in the center. Now you can press your forehead towards the mat. Press in your tailbone down as close to your mat as you can. If you have trouble going down that far, you can stack your fists and just rest your forehead on top of your fists. And breathe. Press into the mat as you press your tailbone down. Get a nice stretch in the lower back. Let's move our fingertips over to the right side. Stretching down that left side body. Let's walk our fingertips back to the left side. And let's go back to center. Okay, slowly get on up, and then we're going to come seated with our legs crossed. Now I want you to take your left hand, put it on your right knee, and your right hand goes around behind you, and we just twist through the spine. Sitting up nice and tall, coming right up out of your hips. Let's switch sides. Okay, I got one more move. Let's place the bottoms of our feet together. This is called butterfly. Just grab a hold of your feet, and if you can, tuck your elbows onto your shins and just kind of pull yourself down. This is a great lower back stretch and also stretches the outside of the hips. Okay, now typically in one of my classes I end with a guided meditation. So I encourage you to check out YouTube or any other type, just Google guided meditations. It's really nice to finish off with 3 or 4 minutes of centering yourself and somebody talking to you and relaxing. It tops off the yoga practice so much better. So I just want to thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate you coming and practicing with me. Namaste.